Now we're covering the game that set the standard for all future Zelda titles to come, A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo. So right off the bat, graphically, A Link to the Past looks wonderful. The detailed environments that you see here pretty much created a blueprint that every 2D Zelda game would follow. The sound is also taken up a level on this one, with the music standing out as especially great. The game starts with you waking up from a dream where Zelda is talking to you, asking for help. Your uncle goes to save her, and then shortly after you follow, he gives you his sword and shield and tells you to save Zelda in his stead. So gameplay wise, it feels very similar to the original Zelda, but it has definitely leveled up a bit. You get a wide array of items and weapons at your disposal, and you're armed with your trusty shield and sword. I also do like that some items you get are just automatically equipped, like the Pegasus boots, meaning that you don't need to constantly go into your inventory and swap them on and off. So eventually you gather the 3 pendants at the behest of the old man, and this will let you get the Master Sword in the Lost Woods. Zelda then gets captured by the evil wizard, and after you defeat him, you get transported into the Dark World. This is basically a palette swap version of the normal overworld, but with different monsters and secrets. I actually really like this concept, because since you know the layout of the overworld, you can find your way around here pretty easily. Now you're on a quest to free the 7 maidens that were imprisoned, including Zelda, from various dungeons in the Dark World. Generally speaking, I liked the dungeons overall. I found most of them relatively straightforward, and I appreciated that in some of them you could even skip as much as half of the dungeon and still complete it. The bosses of these dungeons always looked really cool and were usually a genuine surprise to fight. I also really enjoyed how some dungeons required actions to be done in the light world in order to access them in the dark world. After freeing the final maiden and defeating the wizard one more time, you then face off against Ganon, and this is definitely one of the trickiest fights in the entire game. If you prevail, Link gets the Triforce and you get a nice cutscene of the world being returned to normal. It's really interesting to see what is the first instance of a bunch of staples from the Legend of Zelda series. There were so many tropes that I'm familiar with that started off here. This game was a really fun experience as I kept recognizing more and more things as I went on. And even though some of these ideas were improved on in later games, everything that they did here was done very well. I found A Link to the Past surprisingly addictive. Even as someone who generally prefers the 3D Zelda games, this one stood out as especially well made and fun, and it still holds up today. It manages to provide a lot for you to do without ever feeling overwhelming, and it never overstays its welcome. Definitely don't sleep on A Link to the Past, it's iconic for a reason.